CJ Flyer back with a fire, another YouTube video, another free agent signing today that I would love to talk about. This one actually just happened a few moments ago. Naji Marshall, formerly of the New Orleans Pelicans, signing a 3-year, $27 million deal with my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks. So we need to break this down because, to be honest, for Mavs fans, this probably raises more questions than it answers them as far as what is going on, what the front office is trying to do in constructing this team this offseason. Because as we know, there's been a lot of discussion about the limited financial flexibility on this team and the payroll. Obviously signing Derrick Jones Jr. back to this team was listed as one of the top priorities. And then also, there's been a lot of discussion about a Klay Thompson sign and trade potential deal going on. So what's happening with the Derrick Jones Jr. situation? How good is Naji Marshall? How does he compare to Derrick Jones Jr. if it's a situation of one or the other? What's the likelihood of Derrick Jones Jr. coming back? And then what's going on with this Klay Thompson deal still? So we're going to break it all down, kind of what we know as fans so far, just based on the information that's been portrayed to us as casual followers and not really having a true understanding of the financial complexities of the NBA. So, Naji Marshall, first and foremost, I've been perusing the New Orleans Pelicans subreddit, and from what I can gather, a lot of fans, there's posts about should we bring Naji Marshall back? Can we bring him back? A lot of positive discussion. He's 26 years old, a solid 3-and-D guy. That's what he's developed into. His three-point shooting has improved, very well. As you can see this past season, 38.7% from three. That's slightly above. I believe the league average is somewhere from 35 to 37%. So, 0.9 threes out of 2.3 attempts per game is pretty good. 66 games out of 82 played. He only started one of them, playing 19 minutes per game, so not a lot of playing time. I'm not sure if that's going to increase or decrease with the Dallas Mavericks. And then as you can see, in the playoff series against the Oklahoma City Thunder in round one, he had the very last game, game 4, a solid game. 4 of 7 from 3, 5 of 9 from the field, 16 points. His career high is 24, so he can get scoring done if need be. I think overall, Derrick Jones Jr., of course, was being relied on heavily as a spot-up shooter and a hustle player, and obviously the lob threat. Let's not forget Derrick Jones Jr. The alley-oops are insane. I'm going to miss that if he's leaving the Dallas Mavericks, but man, you gotta love those Luka to Derrick Jones Jr. or Kyrie to Derrick Jones Jr. lobs. Those were insane. And some of those dunks, man, there's a reason he's a former dunk contest champion. Not just because of Dwayne Wade, but because the man can actually dunk the ball. So, compare these stats to Derrick Jones Jr. shooting stats. As you can see, Derrick Jones Jr., obviously he started more games than Naji Marshall. He played a few more minutes per game, and his shooting, pretty similar, I would say. This past season, a little bit lower than Naji Marshall. He had, on more attempts, almost one more attempt per game. 3.1 attempts per game, 34% from the from 3-point, I should say. So pretty solid. And then obviously we got to look at free throw percentage. The Mavs are just a really bad free throw shooting team, and Naji Marshall brings better free throw shooting to the Dallas Mavericks. So we have to bring that up because, oh my goodness, man, the whole team, everyone outside of Kyrie could not shoot free throws, especially in the playoffs. It's just awful. But this is not going to be a free throw rant video. Naji Marshall, solid, rotation player it seems. So I'm excited for that. Now, of course, let's, start getting into the Derrick Jones Jr. situation a little bit. And ESPN's reporting that the Mavs used a huge chunk of their mid-level exception to sign Naji Marshall. And the reason that Derrick Jones Jr. has not been signed by the Mavs, or by anyone at this point for that matter, is because a couple days ago he made a decision to switch agents, switch representation, and there is an NBA Players Association guideline of waiting 15 days before you can start negotiating with teams after you've changed representation. So Basically, what's happened here is even though there is mutual interest from Derrick Jones Jr. and from the Dallas Mavericks, according to the rules, Derrick Jones Jr. actually can't negotiate a deal or sign a deal with Dallas yet. We have to wait 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks for anything to happen at this point. So it's really unfortunate. I'm not sure why he changed representation now, especially with that rule. Not sure if he wasn't aware of the rule. Not sure if there was some circumstances with his old representation. I mean, we don't know what's going on here. So interesting series of events going on. So unfortunately, what might come out of this is, after the Mavs make whatever other moves they're going to make to improve the roster in the next week or two, which, things happen fast in free agency in the offseason. Most times these different moves happen very fast, especially when the star players start to sign. Like in this instance, it'll be Paul George. Once he makes a move to sign to a team, all the dominoes are going to start to fall. You're going to see all kinds of players starting to sign with teams, and the free agent market is going to dry up very fast, and availability of different teams to be able to sign guys, it's going to drop. There's going to be a lot of teams that won't be able to financially afford to pay Derrick Jones Jr. whatever he's worth. So unfortunately, this could be a situation in which the Mavs are not able to bring Derrick Jones Jr. back. I don't think it's completely impossible yet, but there is a chance, very good chance, that he's not coming back at this point, which is unfortunate. Really love seeing him play in a Dallas Mavericks uniform. I think he's going to be great no matter where he ends up. He's shown significant improvement. I think he's a great player, great playoff contributor, as we saw throughout the Mavs playoff run. So, hopefully he comes back. And then as far as the sign and trade situation with Klay Thompson, this trade or this signing, it shouldn't affect anything. If anything, this kind of sets up for, it could be like a Maxi Kleber and Josh Green duo paired up to trade to Golden State for Klay. However the contracts work out, we're not going to dive into that yet. So we're going to see how things continue to play out. But let me know in the comments down below, Mavs fans, non-Mavs fans, what are your thoughts on this whole situation? Do you think the Naji Marshall signing was a good signing? Based on what I can gather, I'm feeling optimistic. I think, he's got room for growth, room for improvement. He's got 4 NBA seasons under his belt, and he's the same age as Derrick Jones Jr., which, Derrick Jones Jr. has a few more seasons because he came into the league right out of college. But it doesn't matter. They're both the same age, and it seems like Naji Marshall has improved greatly from the last season. 3-point shooting, looking good. Defending, sounds like it's good. And that's what the Mavs needed, was like a perimeter defender. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and click on the video on the screen right now for some more NBA free agency news.